In this video session, we're going to go ahead and start with problem number 22 from section 12.2 in measures of central tendencies. Okay, let's go ahead and read the problem. It says the weights to the nearest 5 pounds of 34 randomly selected male college students are organized in a histogram. Find the graph to find the mean weight. Okay, again, since we're finding the mean, we can go ahead and definitely use our calculator. Now again, in our calculator, the values go in L1 and the frequencies go in L2. Notice the values are along the horizontal, the weights. So for example, the weight of 115 actually has a value of 0, so you don't need to include that, but you can if you want. And then 120 has a frequency, the bar goes up to the value of 1, right? So 120 would have a frequency of 1. 125 would have a frequency, the bar goes up to a 2. 130 would have a frequency of 2, and so, and again, and then 135, well, 135 would be the next one in L1, and that would have a frequency of 4, and so on, right? We keep on going until we get to 170, which has a frequency of 0. Okay, so again, we'll go to our calculator. The values go in L1 and the frequencies go in L2. So we'll go ahead and do that in our calculator. So remember, to get to the list keys, we go to Stat, and then we have Edit highlighted. So we can go ahead and hit Enter. Okay, and again, we will not have any, well, we'll have frequencies. These are wrong, not correct for previous problems, so we'll clear out L2 and use our arrow keys, highlight L1 and clear out L1. And now we're going to go ahead and put in the values along the horizontal. 115, the weights. 120 is the next weight. 125, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160, 165, and 170. Okay, the frequencies are according to the bars, right? 115, it's at 0, right? So there's no 115, so you can put in a 0 frequency. 120, the bar goes up to 1. For 125, the bar goes up to 2. For 130, the bar goes up to 2, indicating a frequency of 2. 135 has a frequency of 4. 140, the frequency is 7, bar goes up to 7. 145, we have a frequency of 8, corresponding to the height of the bar. 150, the height of the bar is at 5. 155, the height of the bar is at 2. 160, the height of the bar is 1. And 165, the height of the bar is 2. And 170, the height of the bar is 0. Okay, so now we can go ahead and we've got all our values in L1, our frequencies in L2, so we can go back and click on the Stat key, 2 over from the alpha. We need to do a calculation now. So we go use the right arrow key to hit calculations. We always want one variable stats, it's already highlighted, so you can simply hit Enter. And for my calculator for 83 or an older version of 84, put in second number 1 for L1, comma, above the second key, second L2 for the list L2. If you have a newer version of the calculator, you have the list, you're going to put in L1, and then the second row is frequency list, and you're going to put in L2, and then you're going to go down and highlight calculate and hit Enter. and then you'll get your mean, all right? So on my calculator, I simply put in L1, L2, and I'm going to go ahead now and hit enter, and the mean to the nearest thousandth is 3 decimal places. So 3 decimal places, the mean is the x bar, right? So x bar is 142.9411. Thousandths is 3 decimals, tens, hundredths, thousandths. So this to the right is a 1, so we would leave it rounded down or keep it 142.941. All right, let's go ahead and look at problem number 23. The weights to the nearest 5 pounds of 34 randomly selected male college students are organized in the histogram. Use the graph to find the median weight. Okay, again, we can use our calculator by putting in the weights in L1 and the frequencies, which correspond to the height of the bars in L2. So again, you can see here 110 is the first value, and in L2 the frequency is 0. The next value is 115, the frequency is 1. For 120, the height of the bar is at 2, so it would be a frequency of 2, and so on. And we go all the way down through all these weights to 165, and again we would go ahead and get the values, the frequencies by the heights of the bars. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that, put it into our calculator, because then it'll give us our median for us a lot faster and easier to do it than paper and pencil. So we'll go to Stat, and then we'll go to Edit. Now we have frequencies are going to be different from the previous problem, so I'm going to clear that out. Now notice, we have here 115, the value 115. If I want to go ahead, I have a value of 110 is 0, so I really don't have to include that. So I can just go ahead and start at 115, because 110 has a frequency of 0. If you wanted to, you could press second insert, and you can go ahead and it'll give you a place to put in 110. But you don't have to, and there's 110. And there's 115 from the previous problem. We got 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160, 165, and 170 we don't need, so we can just go ahead and hit delete for that, and we'll end at 165. So we got our values in L1 now, from 110 to 165, and you don't need to include 110 and 165, but if you do, then you definitely need to put in a 0 for the frequency for 110. The frequency for 115, the height of the bar is 1. Frequency for 120, the height of the bar is 2. Frequency for 125, the height of the bar is 2. Frequency for 130 is the height of the bar, which is 5. The frequency for 135 is 6, which is the height of the bar. The frequency for 140 is at 9. The frequency for 145 is the height of the bar, which is 4. 150 frequency is 2. 155, the frequency is 1. And for 160, the frequency is 2, the height of the bar. And for 165, it goes down the horizontal axis, so it has a frequency of 0. You have to put that in if you put in 165. Okay, now we have all our values. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the Stat key, and now we're going to use our right arrow key to highlight calculations, move over to calculations, and we always have one variable. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put second number 1 to get L1, comma, second number 2 to get L2, and again, on your calculator, you're going to have for the it'll come up list, and you'll put in L1, frequency list if you have a newer version of the 84, L2, and then you'll go down with your down arrow key, calculate, hit enter, and you'll get the same answers that I get when I press enter now. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have one variable stats L1, L2, or frequency L1, frequency list L2, hit enter. Now notice we need the median, not the mean. The mean is 137.647, but we want the median in this problem. So we're going to scroll down 3 places, and the median is 140. And we have that completed. All right, this takes care of this session. If you have any questions, email me at tswiersz, tswiersz@hodges.edu, or call me at my office at 239-938-7805. Thank you.